Hi guys, this is Night Furies 11, and welcome to a new career mode playthrough of Kerbal Space Program. Yeah, I've not made a video in a long time. 2 days ago, I think it was, I made a video of a series that I was going to start on Terraria PC, and I learned afterwards that my headphones weren't working correctly. But they are now, or at least they should be. So, yeah. And I like me some Kerbal, so. As you can see down here, we are in 1.3.0.1804. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways. And if the quality, as far as jerkiness, isn't the best, yeah, sorry about that. There's not really anything I can do about that. So we're going to be doing a career mode. That's a great flag. Why not? We're just going to be playing normal, regular rules. So, yeah. And I will be doing, not necessarily a tutorial, but sort of explaining what I'm doing. Yeah, Gene Kerman, we know. Yeah, we can move around with the arrow keys. Whoopee, about as slow as molasses. Anywho. So, first thing you always want to do, mission control. Mission control is the absolute most important thing. Like, aside from the rockets themselves. So, right here, we have gather scientific data from Kerbin. This is a contract. It's a very easy contract. Just because it has 1 star does not always make it a super easy contract, but we're going to accept that and they'll launch the first vessel. So if we go here to active, this shows us the 2 that I just accepted. Ooh, sorry. Gather scientific data from Kerbin and launch our first vessel. And then archives are ones that are either completed or failed or canceled or, yeah. So, then we should go into the VAB, the Vehicle Assembly Building. Yes, Werner von Kerman, we know. Mark 1 Command Pod. This you will use for a long time for all of your manned missions. Not even kidding. You will use that like forever. And the only engine you start off with is this Flea. It's a small, very small, solid rocket booster. As you can see, we don't have coupling, we don't have payload, aerodynamic. Well, actually, we do have aerodynamics. Basic fins. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to do at the very beginning. But what we do need is science. We have a mystery goo container. Now, science is very important. Science is what allows us to unlock more parts. Without science, you cannot unlock more parts, which means you'll be stuck doing the same thing over and over and over until you get enough science. Have I made myself clear? So, hit X. X enables symmetry. So, I slap 2 of them on there. Grab the solid fuel booster, maybe. There we go. Stick it right here on the bottom. And if I'm correct, we don't even need to actually have this thing fire, but we will just because we can. And the Mark 16 parachute, which you will also use this for a long time. So there we go. This qualifies as a rocket. I'm not even gonna bother naming it because it's like useless and puny. So, and if we go over here into the crew tab, we can see we have Jebediah Kerman. Jeb is a pilot. Pilots enable stability assist. You know, I just realized I didn't put any fins on this, but yeah, I should put some fins on it. Yeah, I'm gonna put some. Revert flight to VAB. Yeah, I'm gonna put some fins on it because I don't particularly want Jeb to blow up. So hit X twice for three-way symmetry. We have 3 fins. Anywho, so we will first. What we will do is we will gather some data from right here at home. We're going to observe the mystery goo. Mystery goo observation from launchpad. The goo doesn't seem to be doing much right now. We'll keep that. We'll do a crew report. Yeah, some of these science bits have fun little descriptions, but not all of them. And we'll make Jeb get out. And no, I wanted to click on you, Jeb. Do an EVA report. I don't think a spacesuit was entirely necessary to get here, was it? Probably not, but who cares? Store experiments, take data, store it again, board. And now we are going to... You can't control throttle. Oh, also, staging. This is very important. You want the engine to be below the parachute. Otherwise, things do not end well. What is this? This is... Oh, we performed an EVA test at home. Whoopee. Anyways, let's launch. Hit the spacebar, and up you go, Jeb. And I'm going to... You can angle your ship using WASD. Come on, Jeb. Help me with the SAS here. So, using WASD, I'm going to angle myself over towards the water as much as I can. And I'm going to have Jeb, crew report Jeb. Alright. There we go. And I'm going to do... Actually, I'm going to do the mystery goo from Kerbin's waters if I get there. Because if I do... I mean, I can collect mystery goo on the way up at any time. So we can... Oh, we got more stuff up here. What was the other one? Oh, gather scientific data from Kerbin. Yeah, we'll have to recover the vessel before we get that one. But let's see, we got... Launched first vessel. Achieve goal complete. Speed record, altitude record, speed record, altitude record. Launched first vessel. Good for us. Alright, and I can hit M to view the map. I'm gonna zoom in because... Yeah, that's a pretty low apoapsis. But either way, okay. Yeah, Jeb is going to land in the water. Good for Jeb. Actually, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and deploy parachute. Because why not? And I'm also going to enable physics warp, because I don't want to wait around forever. Plunging like a missile. Oh, and fun fact, Kerbals can swim. It's like, parachute, are you gonna do your job? We've broken a land distance record of 3,000 meters. Woo-hoo! Now, Jeb, it's time to land. There we go. Turn off time warp. Can I turn this thing? Okay. So that it's not dumping Jeb off right in the water. Well, since we're in the water, though, I can observe the mystery goo again. And from Kerbin's water, the goo escapes into the water. Is that safe? Then we can also, actually, I want to go on an EVA. See, there's a trick where you can take the data and then store it again, and then you can do that same kind of report. But for now, we're just gonna have Jeb do an EVA report. Yeah, Spacey wasn't really necessary to get there, but who cares? And let's get back in, and one last science thing. We're gonna do another crew report. And that's it. We're ready to recover Jebediah Kerman from his first mission. And we got 36 science. Actually, we have 36.6. We earned quite a bit of money, and Jeb got a little bit of XP. Now we can go to the research and development. This is another very important spot. This opens up quite a few things. The swivel liquid fuel engine, which you will use this engine more than you can imagine. Pretty much up until you get 2.5 meter parts. The hammer solid fuel booster, which is a stronger version of the one that we just took off with. Tiny little fuel tank. And on the other side, thermometer, antenna, a stack decoupler, which is very important as well. You'll use this for staging, and a different kind of antenna. So we have enough for both. And we also have enough for one more. We can either get General Rocketry, which has a stronger engine, but this one does not have gimbaling. Gimbaling is the property of a rocket engine to be able to turn the nozzle so as to turn the rocket. So if you're using this and only this, let's just say it's a whole lot harder to turn. There's also a small solid fuel booster and a slightly larger fuel tank. This one, survivability, gives you heat shields for tiny heat shields and normal sized heat shields. A barometer, which is more science. Radiator panel, which micro landing strut. Drogue chutes and radial mount parachutes. And a service bay to hold all those fancy equipment. And then just some boring aerodynamic stuff and radial decouplers, which allow you to attach like SRBs. But right now, I think I'm going to get survivability because it has more science. And survivability does open up two more. It opens up flight control, which has, more aerodynamic stuff and an inline reaction wheel. This is a pretty important piece. I'll get to that later because it's not that important right now. This is another important piece. But then again, most of it is an important piece. More radiator panels, an antenna, a better antenna that's, somewhat better. A probe. Yeah, see? Honestly, I hardly ever use this probe, but anywho. that's all we can buy for now. I'm going to briefly show off the astronaut complex. This is where you can get more... sorry. More astronauts. They are quite pricey though, so... not sure I'd recommend that for the most part. I would recommend actually just, you know, not killing your Kerbals. And there's this place out here, the administration building, where you can, you can get, what's it called? You can get different kind of plans, whereas to get stuff in return for losing part of another part. Makes sense? So, yeah. Like, this one here is... I'm not... honestly, I've never used one because I prefer just to go through it as I can go through it. Spaceplane hangar, not really going to do much with that right now because we don't have any parts to actually build space planes. So, yeah, that's... I'm terrible at flying them anyway. I really need to get better. Tracking station. This is sort of like the map, but you don't have to focus from your ship. Like, I can zoom all the way out, and here's the entire Kerbal system. Zoom in a little bit so I can see those inner planets. Come on, Moho. Well, we'll start from the inner solar system. Can I focus on Kerbal? Guess not. Oh, I can. Okay. So, Moho is the counterpart to Mercury. Eve is the counterpart to Venus. Kerbin is the counterpart to Earth. Duna is the counterpart to Mars. Drez is the counterpart to Ceres, which is the largest body of the asteroid belt. Jool is the counterpart to Jupiter, and Elu is the counterpart to Pluto. There is no Uranus or Saturn or Neptune, not in that order. But, yeah. Why do I have more notifications? Yada. Whatever. If you want to read them, get KSP, read them then. That's all I have to say. So we're going to go back into the VAB, and we're going to build a slight... Actually, wait a second, turn around. First, we're going to go back to mission control and get more missions. So, as you can see, we have no active. The archives, we have the two that we did with that first launch. So, next, I'm going to accept this one. And is there any other thing I can do easily? You know, I'll do this one too, just so I can get it out of the way, because there's two more that I see that I can do pretty easily. So, we're gonna go into here, and with things that it says test at the launch pad, it's so easy to do. Look, I'm gonna grab a capsule, go to the engine section, I'm gonna get a hammer, stick it on the bottom, gonna get a swivel, stick it on top, because why not? Actually, I'm gonna flip that upside down. Stick it on top. Doesn't even have to be even. Because guess what? This thing has no, it has no fuel. This does, but actually I'm gonna get rid of all its fuel. So, there you go. This thing has no fuel, so I don't need to turn off the thrust limiter. And I'm just gonna take this out there and, yeah. And this will satisfy the requirement because I'm testing them. I'm just testing them without fuel. Hey, Jeb, are you ready to get mashed by two engines facing the opposite direction? See? It does nothing, but up here, it still satisfies the requirements. So it's literally free money. I like how the swivel still sparks, though. Sparks, because We got a bit of extra money. A bit more reputation. This right here is your reputation bar. It shows how much people like your space program. This shows how much money you have in Kerbucks or whatever they call it. Kerbals currency. This shows how much science you have. This shows how long you've been doing your space program. Anyways, I'm going to go back into mission control. As you can see, we have no more active contracts. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to escape the atmosphere, and I'm going to test the Mark 16 parachute in flight over Kerbin. And do I have enough money to upgrade mission control? I don't think I do yet. I do. Well, let's see, how much is it to upgrade that? I don't have enough for that. Anyways, I'm going to upgrade my mission control later, but for now, I'm going to get rid of this horrendous thing. Get a Mark 16 command pod. Whoopee. Going to get... No, not that yet. I need thermal. I need a heat shield. Really, the heat shield probably isn't that necessary. In fact, I know it's not that necessary. But I'm gonna get it nonetheless. Actually, I'm going to get a service bay. Service bays are very useful things for making it so that your experiments don't explode on re-entry. I've had that happen before. Mostly the goo canisters because they are quite large. No, go on. Right, there. And I need to zoom in. Yes, you use the plus and minus keys to zoom in. That's the only way I know how, but it's really slow. We also definitely want a parachute on top. Go on. There you go. And I'm going to, using symmetry, add in some drogue chutes. Drogue chutes will not make your fall safe. They just slow you down so that the normal parachute can do its job. These are the drogue chutes. This is the normal parachute. As you can see over here, staging interface. Be very mindful of that. Here we go. We got a stack decoupler. And it goes on its own little stage already, automatically. That's nice. We're going to put some fuel tanks. Fuel tanks, fuel tanks, fuel tanks. In fact, I'm going to put a lot of fuel tanks. And... Whoa. There we go. Wasn't letting me pick them up there. So, and if I think it's Alt-click? Yes, Alt-click, and you can copy. And then I'm going to get some aerodynamics. Gonna stick some basic fins on there. Whoa, whoa, not like that. That wouldn't end well. And I'm also gonna put a swivel on the bottom. And this ship is just designed to get me out of the atmosphere, if at all possible. Going to open the service bay. I'm going to stick some science inside. We want a barometer. I don't want 4, but I want 3. No, I certainly don't want 8. I'll take 3. And same with the thermometer. I'll take 3. And I only want 2 goo. There we go. The reason that I put more of the thermometer and stuff is because I wanted to... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to slap them on to the ship itself. It's not really necessary to have it in a service bay for your first flight. They just don't... You're not going to need it, essentially, is what I'm saying. And Actually, I don't. You can't even open it while you're on your way up. So, yeah. I think you can only open it in space. But whatever. Forget that happened. We're just gonna launch this. I should stop rambling. But that's kind of hard for me to do sometimes. Anyways, now with liquid-fueled engines, it's very important to note the throttle. Hit Z to go all the way to the top, X to go all the way to the bottom, Shift to gradually go up, Control to gradually go down. You want to start at full, so. First, I need to take a thermometer reading and a barometer reading from the pad. Now, we are going to enable SAS and launch. Have fun, Jeb. Frankly, I highly doubt that this is actually enough fuel to get up to get out of the atmosphere. But either way, it'll give me a lot of science. Observe mystery goo. Go around. Yes, thank you very much. I want the thermometer. Log temperature. Okay. Log pressure data. Okay, there we go. Now, if we can somehow manage to get out of the atmosphere with this very tiny rocket, then I'll get that science too. But we need the apoapsis to get above 70,000, which is possible. Can we do it? Wait a second, we did! Up above 90. Wow, I'm surprised. Broken altitude record, broken a speed record. Yeah, oh, that's all fine and dandy, but what we really want is the science. And frankly, we can disconnect this. We don't need it anymore. So, as soon as we get out of the atmosphere, I'm going to run all the experiments that I have not run yet. Was this... Okay, that one I did do. Did I do this one? Okay, so it's these three instruments right here. Once we get past 70,000 meters, then yeah. I love how it says we could fire the drogue chutes right now. Yeah, I have a feeling that wouldn't end well. It's still steadily climbing. Very quickly, in fact. My game runs so much faster when I'm not looking at the surface of Kerbin or another surface. Alright, and with the music change, we have escaped the atmosphere. Alright, so we can run these. We get even more science. It's as if it were in a vacuum. Guess what? It is! And then observe the mystery goo. Yeah, good, we get more science. Alright, what does our apoapse actually reach? 94. Not bad at all. That won't do anything right now. Oh, Jeb. Jeb, get out, do an EVA. EVA. Oh! What? Oh, I have to upgrade the astronaut complex. Forgot about that. Whatever, you can still do a crew report. It seems we are very much in space. The ground seems to be mostly below us right now. Alright, I am going to speed up. You can use time warp without physics warp when you are in space. But once you get back in the atmosphere, it becomes physics warp again. Alright, you can turn off SAS when you get back in the atmosphere. your capsule will automatically orient itself to down. And I just really hope that the goo canisters do not blow up. Once you get down to about 30,000 meters, you will become a fireball. It is inevitable. Sorry, but once you get below that, my drogue chutes can open. Drogue chutes will slow you down considerably, and then the normal parachute can go. And now I just gotta wait for Jeb to get back down. And I'm gonna look up so my game runs faster. The drogue chutes will expand, slowing you down to, yeah, pretty slow. And then once you get down to about 1,000, your actual parachute will expand, and yeah, I forgot about that. But we can look at Jeb's view. It's a thrilling view of nothing, and you hit C to get out of that view. How much ablator did I use? Almost none, because I came down very, very straight. Yes, straighter. Oh, what do you know? Oh, you can actually see under the water. I don't think I've actually looked under the water ever. That's kind of funny. Anyways, Jeb, you can be recovered now. Whoopee! And yes, lots and lots of science from that. And astronaut complex. No, not this. I want. How much does it take to upgrade? Okay. So, there you go. I can actually go places and plant flags. And I can also unlock general rocketry and stability. Stability, the main thing I want is that. And we still have 60 science to burn. So, with that 60 science, I'm not getting aviation. NOT, not. Actually, I'm gonna get advanced rocketry. Why? Advanced rocketry, bigger fuel tanks, and, well, just all around better stuff. But anyways, guys, that is all that I have time for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed. So, yeah. If you did, leave a like. Maybe leave a sub if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!